Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Everybody out there doing good today?
We always hope you're doing really good.
And so we're looking at Mammoth Lakes here. And this just caught my eye. Today has felt a little off to me, and Cindy feels the same. And several of our friends that we've had some communications with are saying the same thing. Some people we were working on today, energy wise, off. It just feels off. There's like a sense of something building. And now, obviously, we have all the crap going on with the political situation, the upheaval, the war building. But this feels like Mother Nature to me. This is what this feels like.
Yeah, it feels very much like an earthy issue.
Yeah. So Mammoth Lakes and 146 of 492 quakes in the last 24 hours. They are small, as you could see. These are more on the microquake end of things, but that's a lot to see over here. And Mammoth Lakes, in case you guys don't know, this right here is the rim of a caldera. So can you imagine how big this thing was? This thing is massive. It's a supervolcano. Now, they tell us it last erupted 760,000 years ago. And, when was the last complete magnetic pole reversal? Well, they say about 780,000 years ago. And we are in a magnetic pole reversal now. It's still perhaps early in the process, but then, we don't really know for sure how quickly these things can happen. And because there were articles recently talking about full magnetic pole reversals occurring perhaps in one generation's time. And with ours, it's been underway for a while, and the magnetosphere is declining. So this is really curious. And Mammoth Lakes, as we have talked about, is a super volcano. And we're just going to take a quick peek over here. So we obviously had that 7.8 that many people woke up to in Alaska. And we see a 6.3 that shook Nepal and China. And this is an area that can get very, very big quakes as well. In the Himalayas, of course, highest peaks on the planet. So we're watching that. We didn't see any reports of any major damage coming out of there so far. If we look at Long Valley Caldera, well, it's not quite Yellowstone, but you know what? If it ever went off like it did before, it would not be good.
No, it absolutely wouldn't. It would be pretty devastating.
Extremely devastating. Extremely devastating. We would be talking, basically a nuclear winter situation. Just like we are with Yellowstone. Yellowstone, definitely a notch up, but still, this we see is the scope of where the ashfall came down. That's a pretty big area. This would most definitely cool things off quickly.
Yes, it sure wouldn't. That wouldn't be good.
No, not at all. And, we do get swarms at different times, and so perhaps it's nothing. We've seen a lot of interesting swarms in the western U.S., but a lot of people are sensing something coming. And here you see this is the eruption, the Bishop Ash eruption, 760,000 years ago. So basically, just about all of Nevada, pretty much the southern half of California, all of Arizona, bigger portion of New Mexico, as well as all of Colorado, a good chunk of Wyoming, going over into Nebraska, Kansas, even into Oklahoma, was all, basically inundated with ash. And then, what happens afterwards is, very, very quick, rapid cooling. And of course, that leads to all sorts of problems, including, more and more food issues, food scarcity issues. California's supervolcano may be as dangerous as Yellowstone's. And, that's a nice little illustration of what a supervolcanic eruption might look like. Pretty ominous. And, this is, of course, talking about Long Valley Caldera as well. So it's actually a very beautiful area, but really active at the moment with 146 of 490 quakes there. And then the area west, I should say east of it, west of Tonopah, still has some activity going itself right now. Let's see, in this area we're looking at 71 quakes, so that hasn't stopped. That swarm has not stopped. And as we scoot on out, and let's go take a look. This is one we were talking about earlier today, a 5.4. I saw where somebody had originally said it was a 6.0, but as we know, things get downgraded. And so let's zoom in a little bit and see what we got. We got 55 quakes in total, so the original 7.8, and then basically 54 aftershocks. As you see, the 7.8 here, we see a 6.1 and a 5.7, so some pretty good size aftershocks coming from this area as well. And as we scoot over here, we see the other big one, the 6.3, and we have a 4.5 aftershock. So guys, it's just a heads up. It definitely has a feeling of building pressure is how I would describe it.
Yeah, because that's how my head feels. It's like pressure today.
Yeah, a lot of pressure today. And as always, guys, thank you so much for your support over on Patreon and Ko-Fi. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.